It's time to look at the Albuquerque housing market data for April 2023. This is Tigo Venturi with the Venturi Group of Real Broker here in Albuquerque. And I'm going to do this a little bit different this month and go through the data from our website. So you can actually jump on our website and look at this and dig through it yourself and pull out what you'd like from it. But let's take a look at the data. So on our website at welcomehomeabq.com, I do have a tab here for market. And oh, yes, of course, I've got a whole bunch of different things here. But right now we're looking at the one called latest market data, kind of cut off here a little bit. But we're going to walk through this. And we're going to start right here with closed sales. And the progression here is supply demand metrics. And then we'll look at pricing. And there is an interesting number on the pricing. So we'll get to that here in a second. So closed sales. Down. And that's kind of the story here is the number of homes selling continues to be lower than previous years. And this month, April, was no change. So if we look at this, oh, and let me break this down here for us. So first off, we do have this broken down by price range, so we can dig into that a little bit. And we're looking at the entire Albuquerque area, and we're looking at all single family homes. That includes attached and detached. And so these are averages across the board. But the blue here, the kind of darker blue, is 250,000 and below. The yellow or gold here is 250 to 400. The red is 4 to 6. And the green is 600 and above, or kind of what we consider the luxury market. And then this lighter blue is the entire market. And that's the one I'll be looking at. You can dig into these other numbers. But number of sales down 31% versus April of last year, which was down 14% from April of 21. But we do know that 2022 was a pretty wild year in April and May last year. Very low supply and a lot of activity for sure. Number of homes on the market is down again. This has kind of been the story for a long time now, really ever since the beginning of 2020, is just decreasing number of homes on the market, number of properties available to purchase, and that continues on. And so homes for sale down a little bit from last year, which was down a little tiny bit, pretty much equal with 2021. But you can see by price range in that 250,000 and under, very, very few homes available to purchase in that price range, which is not a surprise. And then, of course, the 4 to 6 has gone up. The pending sales, so number of homes that actually received a contract, went under contract in April, is down 11.5% from last year, which actually, I'm not going to call that too bad considering that closed sales were down 30%. Is that what we got here? Yeah. Closed sales were down 30%, pending sales down about 11.5%. So not as many people transacting. But part of the challenge here is the actual number of homes on the market, like we talked about a second ago, but it's the number of homes coming on the market. So here we're looking at newly listed homes for sale. So these are the number of homes got listed in April, down 35% from last year. So that's a trend I've been talking about and following for a long time, which is people just aren't putting their homes and moving as often. They're not putting their homes on the market and moving as often. All right, month supply of inventory. I've got a long description of what this means because it's kind of a wonky data point, but it's a really good measure of supply versus demand. So the number of homes that would, how long it would take before there were no homes on the market if the same pace were to continue and the same number of homes were on the market. So in that under 250, we can see it's 0.3 month supply. So what is that? I got to do the math here quick. That's like 15 days. No, it's less than 15 days, like 10 days, right? But overall, it's about 1 month supply, which is considered a very, very tight, tight market, meaning just from a supply standpoint. And you can see in the over 600, there's more choices. It's closer to 3 month supply. And then, of course, as you go down in price range, it gets less and less. So much tighter the lower the price point is for sure. Days on market, another good indicator of demand. So this tells us, how quickly things are selling, how long homes are staying in the market. Thing that's curious about this, or at least interesting about this, is it's way up from last year. So we had 13 days on average last April, and now we're up to 25. It's a 92% increase, which sounds, kind of crazy. It basically doubled. But you got to understand that 13 last year was just unheard of. So homes are still selling very fast. And if we look at it from the median days on market, which I kind of like better because it basically how many days is it before half the homes are off the market? And for April, it was 5 days. So that means homes that came on the market in April, half of them were under contract or pending within 5 days. If you filter out the new construction properties that were in the MLS, it actually goes down to 4 days on market for just resale properties, because new construction usually are on market longer, they're not finished, and blah blah blah. So just wanted to make that distinction. But again, you can see by price range, it's definitely tighter, the lower price points versus the higher price points. Um, Pricing. So let's dive into pricing. There's a lot of different ways to look at pricing, and it gets misquoted many times. In fact, one of the reasons I started doing these market reports were some of the reporting I saw on pricing and the way they were being reported. But first off, we're going to look at price per square foot, which I like because it kind of filters out some of the variation on the size of homes that are selling. And so if we look at homes that sold in April, 192 a square foot. That is an all-time high. I don't have the whole chart. It did dip from May through January, basically, or really December of 22, and now it started to come back up every month since January, and now we peaked out again, and this is actually higher than April of last year. Only 1% because we had that pullback through the winter, but home prices are now again at a new all-time high, higher than May of last year, which was the previous all-time high. It's the same data, but this is average versus median. Kind of see the same thing, 1% higher. And then I've got median price, which is the middle price of all the homes that sold in April is 336,000. That is again a new all-time high for the Albuquerque area. And then I've got average as well. And again, average is up from last year. Oh, yeah. Let me just look at the percentage here. So 2.6% is the increase in median price from last year. So the year over year prices continue to increase, definitely slower than we had last year, where, what did we end up at? Gosh, I don't remember now, 17% year over year. So we'll kind of see how this shakes out. But at least home prices aren't going up super fast for people that are looking to buy. People that are homeowners, they're in a good position. Yes, you're getting some gain, but we're not getting this, let's say, bubble building price appreciation that we had in the last couple of years. I can't believe I used the word bubble. I push back against that all the time, but I said it anyway. Now I said it again. So, hey, if you got any questions about real estate in the Albuquerque area, reach out to us. We are the Venturi Group with Real Broker. You can reach us at 505 448 8888.